Welcome back to another episode of the Roblox Studio Tutorials. In this video, I'll show you how to make a pathfinding NPC system for your very own game. And first off, we're going to need a NPC that we're going to use. And we're just going to use this normal noob NPC that you can find in the toolbox. Make sure that this NPC does not have any scripts or anything that will affect how it operates in the game. And we're going to move this new NPC into the server storage and we'll be using it later. Next up, we're going to go into replicated storage and create a new folder. I'm going to call this folder modules. This is where all the module scripts that we create will be placed and kept. First, we're going to create a new module script and we're going to name this Pathfinding. Now let's head out of this. And now we have the Pathfinding module script, but we don't have the script that will be calling the Pathfinder module script. So let's make that first. Let's go into the server script service. We'll create another script. We're going to call this script Pathfinding Controller. Sorry, I just can't spell today apparently. And we're going to get rid of this hello world. And we're going to enter some code that we're going to need to get this pathfinding script functioning. So let's go ahead. Let me write that up quickly. Okay, so I just went ahead and put in some variables and I'll explain these one by one. So let's go. First off, we get the services, and this service right here is the collection service. So this is what we're going to use to detect which NPCs in the world will be affected by our pathfinding module script. Now let's move on to the second one below it, which is replicated storage. You know what that is, just this replicated storage over here. And this modules folder, which we have made earlier, and which is right here. And we have this pathfinding module and this pathfinding configs module that is under the pathfinding module. I'm going to head out of the script. We're going to go into this pathfinding module and we're going to create a new module called this configs. In this configs folder, there'll be a whole bunch of variables that will make your game more customizable to your preferences. So we're going to head out of this configs folder. We're going to go back into this pathfinding controller and we're going to finish this script. So I just finished up writing up the script and we have this tag system. So as I explained earlier, we're going to have these tags, and when a tag is added to an NPC with the tag NPC, that's when we know this NPC is now connected to our pathfinding system, if that makes sense. And down here we have a loop, which we'll explain this a little more in detail after we start populating that pathfinding module. But as of right now, this is probably confusing to you because this pathfinding module that we calculate is something that we have not done yet. So let's do that. So let's head out of the script and let's go into this pathfinding module script, write some code for it. We're going to go through it one by one. I'm going to try to simplify it as much as I can so you can understand it. We also have this math module variable that I added here. I'm just pointing this out because this is also something that we'll need to create real quick. And there's wandering points is something that we'll also need to create real quick before I explain this. Go into the workspace, create a new folder called as wandering points, and within this folder you need at least one part because this is where the NPCs are going to walk towards. So you need at least one point in here. So for this case, we're going to have a 1 point, and this point is just going to be in the middle of the world. Next, we're going to go into the modules. I'm going to create a new module. We're going to call this math. All right, so I went ahead and wrote this up. Now, unfortunately, this is something that I did not think of, and you can thank AI Assist for this one because this was quite complex. Pretty much what this is doing is we're passing a percentage value. And let's say like if we have a 50% chance of doing something, this calculates that 50% chance and returns a true or false value. That's out of the script. We're going to go into this pathfinding, and we're going to create a new configuration part, and we're going to call this values actually. All right, so we've added some values, and the first value is going to be destination, which is going to be an object value. If I set this object value's value to point, this NPC will move towards that part no matter what. The next one is pathfinding. This is a true or false, so it's whether or not the NPC is going to pathfind, pretty much. Target part that the NPC is walking towards, pretty much. And the next part is a wandering. Let's say the NPC does not have a target, the NPC is wandering. If the wandering value is enabled true in this configs folder, which speaking of configs, in this config script, go ahead and open it. We're going to have a couple of values here. Here are the many customizable values. Here you can customize a whole bunch of things from the range detection, from the waypoint distance, from the path update distance. Can the NPCs jump? Can they climb? All that type of stuff. Well, that's pretty much the pathfinding script done. Now, for our case, I'm going to set up an example to showcase what this system will look like in action. You saw it a little bit in the intro, but I want to show you how I did it. Okay, so I've just added that enemy spawner script that you see here, and I'm going to showcase to you what that looks like. So we have the NPC just walking to points, and it's going to keep doing that forever until it gets a target or a destination to go to. So it gets to this target and then it goes to the next one. We have this NPC going back and forth between these points, but I want him to go to this blue destination part right here. So we're going to go into this noob NPC. We're going to this values, and you see this destination object value. If we change the value of this to the destination point, you see that he immediately changes his mind and goes right to this point. But if you want him to go back to wandering, then all you need to do is just get rid of the destination, and he will go right back to wandering. And if you want to see how I made this name tag, check out the link in the description or click the card on the screen.